So the main cat shed where they live now, so this is obviously a repurposed garden shed. It's a little bit rickety, but it has been adapted to give the cats the best home we can. So insulation up on the roof, you can see. There's polystyrene behind this, and this is also a second layer of insulation. Again, insulation panels on the inside of the shed. Now this house used to home about 8 or 9 cats. Some slept outside, some in the shed. So what they had is they had quite a lot of choice of shelving areas that they could sleep on, and also shelving areas where we could keep the food, and then also any medication or treats for them as well. So the floor, nice dry floor. We actually have a bit of vinyl flooring. To get in and out of the shed, they have a little cat flap sized cat hole. Unfortunately we can't use a cat flap on it because they're feral cats and have a lot of difficulty learning how to actually use a cat flap, but we do try that. So they have summer beds here, a little bit cooler for them. They're open. They have this bed here, which again this tends to be a summer bed. For their winter beds they have insulated boxes. This is dry in the shed, so we have a cardboard box with layers of insulation inside. This is also a self-heating mat, so that actually reflects the cat's heat and keeps them warm. They also use this box as well. You can see heavily insulated box, self-heating mat in there, and they also have another box down there. So they have a choice of boxes they can go in and they can use. So that's their sleeping arrangements. Generally, feeding, they're fed twice a day. They always have water available. I need to top up the bowl, I've only just arrived. They have water available, they had food bowls available. We put the food down for them. Health wise, I will regularly spray the bedding with a tick and flea spray that you can use for pet bedding. We'll use flea and worm treatment. This is Frontline flea treatment. Spot on flea treatment is very difficult to use for feral cats. You often can't get close enough. These cats I've been looking after for 5 years, so I can get close enough occasionally. But usually it's a case of using tablets. I would recommend at least getting the cat used to you being around, so you can throw a bit of chicken with a tablet wrapped up in it, and then you can tick off on your list that you flea'd or wormed that cat. Both flea and worm medication is available in tablet form. So this thing that's different about this shed is we know this shed is dry, so we do have normal bedding in these boxes. If this was anything other than a really, completely dry environment, then straw or hay needs to go in their boxes. It's much better in damp conditions, and especially in areas where it might get freezing. The straw and hay gives them a really nice insulation, whereas pet bedding like this can freeze. But obviously we don't have that issue here in these insulated boxes. If it's really cold in here, because we have no electricity, I would normally recommend using an infrared lamp, or maybe a frost heater, a greenhouse style frost heater, electric plug-in one. But what we do with this is we have little pet warming pads so we can heat up in the microwave, and then we can just add into these boxes just either this one underneath the bedding, or particularly this one, if they do sleep in this one, we'll just put it underneath the bedding for them. But what we check every day, twice a day, we check the bedding is dry. That's one thing that's not good at all for ferals, is any damp bedding materials at all. So I hope that helps people understand the setup that's needed. The bottom line is it needs some sort of insulation to keep it fairly warm. Insulated boxes, particularly in an unheated pet shed like this one, and obviously dry places for storing food, fed and watered twice a day, lots of room for the cats to choose which bed they're going to go into, and that really is sort of what to go for a feral cat setup.